What's up, y'all? Today we are back with another video, and today we're taking a look at these. These are the Google Pixel USB-C earbuds. Now this one should be a pretty quick little video. I hesitate to call it a review so much because I mean they're just earbuds, and everybody's got different preferences on earbuds and whatnot. But I got these with my Pixel 3, which I'm using to record this with. They are USB-C headphones. On that particular note, I've tried them on a Pixel 3, a Pixel, a Xiaomi Mi A1, and a Galaxy S9, and they work on all of them. So these should work on the majority of USB-C phones. Not all of them, but the majority. Like, I know there's a couple HTC phones out there that use a weird protocol for USB-C audio. So you have to do your research, but these should work on, I would venture to say, the majority of USB-C phones. Okay, so we're going to take a look at these today for, I guess, two reasons. One, because if you bought a Pixel 3 or Pixel 3 XL, you're going to get these in the box with the phone. And number two is because they're kind of going right up like head to head with the EarPods, you know, Apple's EarPods, which are kind of a, I guess, an industry mainstay. They're also $30, and pretty much everybody has a set laying around or knows somebody that has a set laying around. I would venture to say most people have used a set at some point, or at least, you know, they've had the chance to. And there's both the same price. Like I said, these are USB-C, so you don't need the adapter if you get these. But let's say your EarPods wore out and you're looking to replace them. Do you want to spend your 30 bucks on EarPods, or are these worth your money? So that's what we're going to take a quick look at today. As I said before, I've tried these on a number of different phones, and they work on quite a few USB-C phones. However, if you're using these with a Pixel phone, you do get some added functionality, I guess. When you plug these into a Pixel phone for the first time, I don't have any footage of this because I've already plugged it into both of my phones, but it came up on both my Pixel 3 and my Pixel 1, I guess my Pixel XL, my original one. When you plug them in for the first time, it'll give you a bunch of prompts to set up the Google Assistant and, you know, do all this other setup stuff, because these will like read notifications back in your ears, and, you know, basically, as far as I can tell, they'll do largely almost everything that the wireless Pixel Buds will do. These are just not wireless. And you do not get all of that functionality on like the Galaxy S8 or the Xiaomi Mi A1. When I plugged it into those phones, I did not get all of those added functionalities. Like, I mean, I plugged them in and they work just like you would expect regular headphones to work. The microphones work, the volume controls, all of that. I just didn't get the added prompts for the Google Assistant, so I assume that means it doesn't work quite as fluently on those. On those particular phones, these are going to operate just like regular headphones. Also, a lot like the wireless Pixel Buds, these have an adjustable fit. I don't know how well you can see it, but they have these like wired loops, and you just slide them up and down through this little channel to make the loops bigger or smaller, and that allows them to sit up like in the crook of your ear, you know, tighter, looser. I would say that's an advantage to these over the EarPods. If you have trouble getting EarPods to stay in, which I do, then these are going to be way more secure once you take a few minutes to adjust them and get them to feel right. For me, the AirPods fall out unless I put the silicone like ear hooks adapters on them. So, like, fresh out of the box, 30 bucks versus 30 bucks. These are going to have the advantage if you're using these for a more active activity, I suppose. Also, if you have an Android phone, these are going to integrate a little better with your phone. The AirPods, at least on my Google Pixel phones, the volume controls don't do anything really. I can use the multi-function key in the middle, but the volume controls didn't do anything. With these, you'll have full functionality of the volume controls and the multimedia controls. Speaking of the media controls, I'm going to do a real quick overview of what the controls are, at least as they work on my Pixel phones. So you got volume up, volume down. The middle button is your multimedia button. If you have audio playback going, you tap it once, it'll pause it, tap it again, it'll play the music. Volume up and down just like you would expect. If someone calls you, you tap the middle button, it'll answer the phone call. You tap it again, it'll hang up the call. So far, all pretty standard stuff. If you double tap the center button while there's audio playback, especially songs, it'll skip forward. If you triple tap the center button, it'll skip back, either to the beginning of the song or to the previous song. Now where this differs a little bit from what I'm used to, like with the AirPods on my Pixel XL, I could use the Google Assistant with it, but I would have to hold the multimedia button until I heard that tone in my ear for the Google Assistant, and then I would speak. On these, they don't work that way. At least on my Pixel phones, the way these work is I hit the button and I hold it and I just start talking immediately. And then when I let go of the button, I hear the tone and the Google Assistant responds and does what I need it to do. So minor difference, you just talk while you're holding it. Whereas on those, you hold the button until you hear the tone and then you talk. So yeah, that's the controls in a nutshell. Alrighty, one of the last things, but obviously not the least, is how do they sound? I would say they sound, in my personal opinion, they sound at least as good as EarPods and AirPods. Maybe even a little better, borderline. The biggest problem I have is EarPods, and I guess in the same vein, AirPods. While they are not a noise canceling sort of seal, you know, they don't have silicone tips or anything on them, they don't block noise per se, they fit down in my ears well enough that they do a good job of blocking a large amount of ambient noise. Like, I can still hear what's going on around me, but I wouldn't say it's distracting in most scenarios. While the music is very good and very clear on these, at least for me personally, I find that I get more ambient noise around these. They block even less than the AirPods do. So, I mean, take it for what it's worth. If you work in a really loud environment, that could be an issue. If you work in an environment where you need to be able to hear your surroundings, that might not be a bad thing. That might be a good thing. If you work around a lot of moving equipment and cars and, you know, whatever else is going on, maybe that's a good thing that you can hear your music and still pretty clearly hear what's going on around you. So whether or not that's a selling point to you, you have to decide. I don't know, if you work in an office environment and you just want to drown everybody out, these probably aren't for you. So the final verdict, as a standalone product, they're really good for 30 bucks. They sound really good, they're very secure, they, you know, they're going to stay in your ear. You know, they're not just going to fall out under most circumstances. They plug right in to your USB-C phone without the adapter, and you're going to have the full use of the controls. So, for my 30 bucks, if I had to choose between EarPods and these, I would probably go with these. I don't know, overall, I like them. They're pretty good. I'm really glad that Google included them in the box. And I'm definitely going to keep them around. These will probably be good for when I'm cutting the grass or something and I want playback controls up by my head rather than trying to reach into my sweaty ass pocket to get my phone out all the time. So yeah, I think that about does it for the video. If you're wondering why I shot this vertical, it's because I actually shot this primarily with the intentions of putting it on Instagram TV. And if you're watching this on YouTube, that's why it's vertical, not horizontal. I really didn't want to shoot it twice to do the exact same thing, so this is what you get. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you in the next one.